It's one of the most shocking discoveries in modern numismatic history, the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. A coin that most people spend without a second glance, yet under the right conditions, it's worth up to $1.6 million. And the reason behind its incredible value is something no one saw coming. You see, 1989 was a year that looked perfectly ordinary for U.S. coinage. Billions of pennies were minted, over 7 billion in fact. To most people, a 1989 penny is nothing special. Just another brown coin that jingles in your pocket. But what if I told you that hidden among those billions was a microscopic minting error so rare that only a handful of collectors have ever seen it with their own eyes? One of them did, and what he found stunned the entire coin world. He was sorting through a box of change from his local bank. Hundreds of ordinary cents, nothing remarkable, until one coin caught the light just a little differently. Its surface shimmered slightly brighter, almost as if the copper was thinner than normal. He picked it up, turned it under a magnifying glass, and froze. There was no mint mark. Now, at first glance, a missing mint mark doesn't always mean something special. After all, the Philadelphia Mint typically doesn't include one on their pennies. But what made this coin different was the way it was struck, a subtle error in the die alignment, and a metallic anomaly that revealed it might have been struck on a planchet intended for a proof coin, or even a transitional metal composition. Experts couldn't believe it. Tests revealed the penny's copper content didn't match normal circulation issues. It appeared that a few 1989 cents were accidentally struck using the wrong metal, a leftover alloy from an earlier production test. That one mistake turned an ordinary cent into a six-figure legend. But what happened next stunned the coin community even more. The collector sent the coin to be authenticated by a top grading service. When the results came back, the graders were speechless. The 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was certified as a mint error of extreme rarity. And when it hit the auction block, the bidding war was nothing short of explosive. Bids climbed higher and higher. $1,000. $10,000. Then $100,000. But they didn't stop there. Collectors knew what they were looking at. A once-in-a-lifetime mistake, a coin that shouldn't exist. By the time the final gavel fell, that tiny penny had sold for over $1.6 million. See, the 1989 penny was struck during a transition between older and newer die setups. In rare cases, the Philadelphia Mint accidentally mixed test strikes into regular batches. That means if you have a 1989 penny without a mint mark, you could be holding something extraordinary, but only if you know what to look for. Collectors were shocked to learn that the details matter more than anything. Look closely at Lincoln's bust. If the lettering appears slightly doubled, especially around the word Liberty, or if the date seems thicker than normal, that's your first sign. Next, check the surface. Some of these valuable 1989 no-mint mark pennies have a satin or mirror-like finish, a clue that they might have been struck with proof dies. Others have slightly different color tones, a hint of golden red or lighter copper from an experimental alloy. Under magnification, these rare pennies show extremely sharp edges on the lettering, something that doesn't appear on regular circulation coins. It's a clear sign that the dies were brand new, possibly misused proof dies, before being switched back into normal production. Dealers are still chasing these coins today. Some have paid tens of thousands just for examples that might be linked to the same batch. But the million-dollar version, that perfect combination of flawless strike, missing mint mark, and transitional composition, remains one of the rarest modern pennies ever found. It's not locked away in some museum. It came from ordinary pocket change. Imagine reaching into your car's cup holder, or an old jar of coins on your dresser, and finding a penny that looks just a little too perfect. The color's a bit off, the luster almost mirror-like, the date crisp and bold. You'd think nothing of it, until you look closer, because that exact coin could be worth a fortune. Collectors often say that the thrill of the hunt never dies, and the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is living proof. It's a reminder that history, luck, and value can hide in plain sight. One man's penny became a millionaire's story. If you want to check, grab your magnifier and a bright light. Examine the 1989 pennies in your collection carefully. Look for no mint mark, of course, but don't stop there. Search for a double die effect, an unusually sharp design, or a proof-like shine. Check the rim thickness, the texture, even the way the coin reflects light. Those small differences could mean everything. Because while most 1989 pennies are worth 1 cent, the rare ones are life-changing. The difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth $1.6 million is often so small that only the sharpest eyes will ever catch it. Collectors who know these secrets guard them closely. Some say there are still a few of these coins in private hands, others believe undiscovered examples are sitting forgotten in jars, drawers, and piggy banks across America. So before you spend your next penny, take a second look. Turn it under the light. Feel its weight. Because the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny has already changed lives, and it could change yours next. But when one collector took a closer look, what he found turned a single cent into a staggering $1.7 million discovery. This is the story of the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny, one of the most mysterious and shocking coins ever to surface in American history. A man sorting through his pocket change, searching for something special. But that night, his routine turned into a life-changing moment. Under the dull light of his kitchen table, he noticed something strange. His penny had no P mint mark, no D, nothing at all. Just a blank space where a mint mark should have been. He brushed it off at first, maybe just worn down by time. But when he compared it to another penny, he froze. The other coin had a clear D mint mark for Denver. His didn't. He didn't know it yet, but he was holding one of the rarest errors ever produced by the U.S. Mint, a coin so scarce that even veteran collectors had only seen it in photos or books. The 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny wasn't supposed to exist. By that year, every penny struck in Philadelphia had a clear P mint mark. Every single one, except this mysterious survivor. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. News spread fast. A 1990 penny with no mint mark had surfaced in circulation, and experts were baffled. How could a coin made decades after the introduction of mint marks be missing one? Theories started flying. Some said it was a mechanical mishap at the Philadelphia Mint, a die intended for Denver accidentally used before the mint mark was added. Others whispered about a rogue employee, or a hidden test strike that somehow slipped out. This penny wasn't supposed to exist. And its rarity sent shockwaves through the hobby. Collectors began scouring their change jars. Dealers pulled out magnifiers. Auctions started buzzing. One pristine 1990 no mint mark penny eventually crossed the auction block, and when the hammer dropped, jaws hit the floor. It sold for an unbelievable $1.7 million. A 1-cent coin, worth more than a mansion. It's not just the missing mint mark, it's the story it tells. Every coin has a fingerprint of its creation, a record of its journey through time. The 1990 no mint mark penny represents an impossible moment, a coin that escaped modern precision, a relic of human error in an age of machines. It's a reminder that even the smallest mistakes can become legends. Collectors describe holding one as surreal. The color, the weight, it feels the same as any other penny. But under magnification, the details whisper secrets. Sharp strike. Perfect lettering. A flawless absence where the mint mark should be. That absence, that nothingness, is what makes it worth millions. Dealers are still hunting for them. Some claim fewer than 20 exist in any condition. Others think there might be more, quietly hiding in circulation, buried in old coin rolls or tucked inside forgotten piggy banks. Imagine finding one in your change after buying a cup of coffee. Imagine realizing that the coin you've had in a drawer for decades is worth a fortune. And here's where it gets even crazier. A few counterfeits have surfaced over the years, pennies with their mint marks carefully removed by hand. But trained eyes can tell the difference. The genuine 1990 no mint mark penny has crisp details around Lincoln's portrait. The area where the mint mark should be isn't scratched or smoothed, it's clean, untouched, as if it was never there to begin with. One collector once said, "It's like holding lightning in your hand, a mistake that became a miracle." But what happened after that record-breaking sale shocked even veteran dealers. The price of ordinary 1990 pennies, the regular ones, began to rise slightly as curiosity exploded. Everyone wanted to check their change. Some coin shops even offered small rewards just to examine customers' coins, hoping lightning might strike twice. There's something almost poetic about it. A coin made by the millions, but only a handful escaping the mint without their mark. A forgotten cent that became a $1 million secret. Start by grabbing any 1990 penny you have. Look just below the date on the front side, right under Lincoln's shoulder. That's where the mint mark should be. If you see a small D or P, it's a regular strike, worth face value. But if that spot is completely blank, and the coin's surface is untouched, you might be looking at something extraordinary. Next, examine the coin's color and edges. The genuine 1990 no-mint mark penny has sharp, clean details, with no signs of tampering or polishing. The Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions should be crisp. If anything looks filed, smooth, or altered, it's likely a fake. But if everything looks untouched, flawless, and that mint mark is missing, your heart might start racing. Because this is the kind of discovery that changes everything. Imagine the moment you realize your pocket change could be worth over $1 million. The disbelief. The shock. The rush to confirm it's real. Collectors have described it as surreal, like the world slows down, and every detail of that small copper coin suddenly matters more than anything else. And maybe that's the true magic of coins like this. They remind us that miracles don't always come wrapped in gold or diamonds. Sometimes they come in copper, hiding quietly in plain sight. The 1990 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a legend. A symbol of chance, of hidden fortune, of the mystery that still hides in America's change. So, next time you reach into your pocket or open that old jar of pennies, take a closer look. Because you never know what story might be waiting to be discovered. But instead, it turned into a $1 million miracle. The 1982 Lincoln penny, a coin so ordinary, so common, that millions of people have probably held it without ever realizing what they had, is now one of the most talked about coins in U.S. history. Because one tiny mistake at the Denver Mint created a treasure now worth up to $1.8 million. It all started in a year of transition, 1982. The U.S. Mint was changing the way pennies were made. For more than a century, they'd been struck from solid copper. But rising metal prices forced a change. The mint decided to switch to a cheaper core made of zinc, coated with a thin layer of copper. The switch seemed simple enough, but it led to one of the most valuable minting errors ever discovered. You see, in that chaotic year, both copper and zinc planchets, the blank discs used to strike coins, were mixed together. Some 1982 pennies were made of copper, others of zinc, and both came from different mints across the country. But in Denver, a few extremely rare 1982 pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong type of planchet, a mistake that no one noticed until decades later. For years, these coins circulated like any other penny. They passed through vending machines, coffee shop counters, and supermarket cash registers. No one had a clue. But when collectors finally took a closer look, they discovered something incredible: a 1982 small date copper penny. A coin so rare that experts estimate fewer than 10 may exist. And when one of these elusive coins surfaced, the coin world went wild. Collectors couldn't believe it. The penny weighed 3.1 grams instead of 2.5, a telltale sign that it was made of copper instead of zinc. And with that one detail, a single penny became worth nearly $2 million. But what happened next stunned everyone. Word spread fast, and collectors everywhere began weighing their 1982 pennies, hoping to find one of these hidden treasures. Some even tore through old coin jars and inherited collections, desperate to find that one coin that could change their lives forever. Dealers reported a surge in 1982 penny submissions to grading services like PCGS and NGC. Everyone wanted to know if they had the $1 million version, and then, more discoveries started trickling in. Each time one appeared, the story deepened. Some were small date designs, others were large dates, some zinc, some copper, but the 1982 small date copper penny was the holy grail. The combination of the Denver Mint mark, the small date style, and the heavy copper planchet made it one of the rarest errors in modern U.S. coinage. Collectors were shocked. How could such an obvious mistake go unnoticed for so long? Experts believe it happened during the mint's transition period, when leftover copper planchets from earlier batches accidentally mixed with new zinc ones. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Not all 1982D pennies are rare. Only a specific few, with that exact combination of date, mint mark, and metal composition, hold that extraordinary value. The first thing to look for is the mint mark, D, under the date. That means it was struck in Denver. Next, examine the date carefully. This small date variety has thinner, more delicate numbers, especially the 2 in 1982, which curls higher and sits level with the 9. Compare it closely to a large date example, and you'll see the difference immediately. Then comes the crucial test, the weight. You'll need a precise digital scale that can measure grams. A regular 1982D zinc penny will weigh around 2.5 grams. But if yours weighs closer to 3.1 grams, you might be holding one of the rare copper planchet errors. That's the detail that has turned ordinary pocket change into a million-dollar discovery. Collectors have called this the modern treasure hunt. People who never thought twice about the coins in their jars are now finding themselves at the center of the rare coin world. And it's not just about money, it's about history, about holding something that connects us to a moment when America's money itself was changing. Imagine this: a simple penny you've overlooked for decades could be worth more than your car, your house, even your retirement fund. It's happened before. One collector, unaware of his coin's value, sent it to a dealer as part of a small batch of common coins. When it came back graded as a 1982D small date copper penny, it was valued at over $1 million. That single coin changed his life forever. But here's the twist: many people still don't realize they could have one. Millions of 1982 pennies were produced, but only a handful carry this minting error. That means the odds are slim, but not impossible. And that's what keeps collectors searching, year after year. Because each time a new one surfaces, it reignites the dream that another could still be out there, hidden in plain sight. Dealers say the demand for this coin is unlike anything they've seen. Even regular 1982D zinc or copper pennies are now being examined closely, just in case. Auction houses are on high alert, ready to list the next verified specimen for record-breaking sums. It's a reminder that even the smallest details, a fraction of a gram, a curve in a number, can mean the difference between pocket change and a fortune. And for those who want to search, the process is simple but thrilling. Gather every 1982 penny you can find, from jars, drawers, and coin rolls. Sort them by mint mark. Look for D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, and S for San Francisco proofs. Then, separate the small dates from the large dates. The easiest way to tell is by focusing on the 2 in the small date. The top of the 8 and 2 align evenly, while in the large date the 2 dips lower. Once you've found a 1982D small date, put it on a scale. If it tips past 3 grams, you could be staring at a fortune. And the story doesn't end there. The few confirmed 1982D copper small date pennies are treated like priceless artifacts. Each one is encapsulated, photographed, and guarded in secure vaults. They've become legends in the numismatic world, proof that mistakes can create miracles. This is more than a story about a coin. It's a story about how ordinary moments can hold extraordinary value. About how history hides in plain sight. And about how something as small as a penny can change your life forever. Collectors still whisper about the day another 1982D copper penny surfaces. When it does, it'll make headlines again, and it could be you holding it. But it just sold for nearly $1 million. Yes, a single 1977D Lincoln penny, hidden in plain sight, overlooked for decades, has become the ultimate collector's dream. What makes it so extraordinary? And how could a coin from your pocket change potentially be worth over $1 million? Stay with me, because the story of this penny will blow your mind. It all started with a single mistake at the Denver Mint. In 1977, a batch of pennies was struck under unusual conditions. Most came out perfectly normal, the kind of coins we toss into jars without a second thought. But a few, just a few, bore a subtle but dramatic difference. A tiny anomaly, nearly invisible to the untrained eye, that would one day skyrocket their value into the seven-figure range. Collectors would later call it the $1,000,000 mistake. For years, these pennies quietly circulated in pocket change, hiding in plain sight. Kids played with them, cashiers counted them, and banks handed them out without a hint of their true value. Some went to soda machines, others tucked into wallets, completely ignored. No one suspected that what looked like a simple 1977 Lincoln penny could one day transform into a fortune. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. A collector, searching through a roll of pennies, noticed something peculiar. The mint mark, the small D on the coin, was slightly misaligned, almost doubled in appearance. It was subtle, but for those who knew, it was the jackpot. One coin. One discovery. And just like that, what had been ordinary pocket change became a ticket to unimaginable wealth. Word of this discovery spread like wildfire. Dealers rushed to hunt down every 1977 penny, inspecting stacks of coins with magnifying glasses, desperately searching for that elusive misprint. Auctions exploded with excitement. A single coin sold for nearly $1,000,000, a record for a penny minted in the late 20th century. The sheer shock of it sent collectors into a frenzy, proving that even the most mundane coin could hold untold riches. You don't have to be a millionaire to find one. These pennies were everywhere: your grandfather's jar, the change you just dumped on the counter, even loose coins in circulation. The key is knowing exactly what to look for. Collectors were shocked to learn that the critical details are almost microscopic. The D mint mark is slightly raised, almost doubled, giving it a distinctive shadow. Some coins show faint doubling on the date itself. These details are subtle, easy to miss if you're not looking carefully. But if you spot them, you could be holding a fortune in your hand. A man digging through change, finding this tiny penny, and realizing it's worth more than a house. Dealers were stunned. Auctions were on fire. One coin literally changed someone's life overnight. One man's pocket change became a $1,000,000 miracle. And yet, most people will never know what they're holding. But the story doesn't end there. Some coins were counterfeited, with clever alterations designed to mimic the real misprint. Even seasoned collectors can be fooled. That's why examining the coin's details, the precise placement of the mint mark, the shape of the numerals, and even the wear patterns, is absolutely essential. A professional grading can make the difference between a worthless imitation and a legitimate $1,000,000 treasure. What's incredible is how few of these coins exist. Experts estimate just a handful survived in near-perfect condition. Each one is a historical artifact, a tangible mistake that the mint never intended to create. And because they're so rare, their value continues to climb. Today, a 1977 Lincoln penny with the correct mint error is not just a coin, it's a symbol of luck, timing, and the thrill of discovery. This is more than a coin. It's a reminder that treasures can be hiding in the most ordinary places. That jar of pennies in your kitchen, that forgotten roll in a drawer, could contain something life-changing. You could be holding the very coin that turns into $1,000,000. Look for the subtle doubling on the D mint mark. Check the date carefully. Examine the edges for unusual wear or misalignment. And always verify with a professional. The smallest detail can mean the difference between a 1-cent coin and a $1,000,000 miracle. Collectors who discovered their pennies before the auctions realized something profound: fortune favors the observant. Every time you reach into your pocket change, you're touching history, and maybe even a future $1,000,000 story. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1,000,000. One tiny piece of copper. One incredible twist of fate. And the next life-changing discovery could be yours. One tiny Lincoln penny, minted in 1984 at the Denver Mint, has collectors across the nation on edge, and the story behind it reads like something straight out of a thriller. It started as an ordinary penny. Hundreds of millions were minted in 1984. But this one has a secret hidden in its very design, a flaw so subtle that most eyes would never catch it. Dealers have described it as a whisper of a mistake, a microscopic difference that turns everyday pocket change into $1 million treasure. A collector sifting through a jar of pennies on a rainy Sunday afternoon, thinking he's found nothing more than spare change. And then, a glint of metal catches his eye, a shadow in the lettering, a tiny anomaly near the mint mark. He pulls it out, brushes off the dust, and immediately feels the chill of disbelief. Could this be what experts have whispered about for years? This is no ordinary mint mark error. The 1984 D penny carries a variation known as the double die, a subtle doubling of letters or numbers on the coin. To the untrained eye, it looks like a normal penny. But for the few collectors who know exactly what to look for, it's a once-in-a-lifetime find. One careful glance under a magnifying glass, and the entire value of the coin skyrockets. Collectors were shocked when the first one hit the market. It sold at auction, quietly, almost without notice, for a staggering sum. $1 million penny, hiding in plain sight, transformed an ordinary collector's afternoon into a life-changing moment. But the story doesn't end there. The origins of this coin are almost as mysterious as its value. During production at the Denver Mint, a small misalignment occurred, unnoticed by inspectors. The machines churned out millions of pennies, but a rare few carried this imperfection, silent witnesses to a minting mishap that would one day turn into fortune. Historians and coin experts debate exactly how many exist, but consensus suggests fewer than a dozen have surfaced in near-perfect condition. The phone rang at 10 a.m., a trembling voice on the line saying, "I just found something. I think it might be worth something." By noon, the penny was in the hands of an appraiser. By the evening, news had spread to collectors nationwide. A tiny coin, minted decades ago, had suddenly become a symbol of possibility, proof that anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon a fortune hidden in their pocket change. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. After the initial auction, whispers circulated of a private sale that eclipsed even that figure. Dealers began combing through change with magnifying glasses and microscopes, driven by the hope, and sometimes obsession, of finding another. They were chasing a legend, and every double die, every mint mark anomaly became a potential ticket to $1 million payday. The secret is subtle. Look closely at the letters, Liberty, and the numbers. 1984 D. The doubling appears almost like a ghostly echo, a shadow of the original engraving. Most people would overlook it entirely. But experts know that this tiny detail is the difference between an everyday penny and one worth over $1 million. Every step of identifying this coin requires precision. You need a magnifying glass or, better yet, a jeweler's loupe. Check the edges, study the letters, examine the mint mark. Avoid common mistakes. Scratches, post-mint damage, or misidentified coins can destroy value. Only coins with the authentic double-die pattern, in near-perfect condition, reach the $1 million tier. Imagine holding it in your hand. One small piece of copper, no bigger than a fingertip, containing decades of history and the potential to completely change a life. Dealers are rushing to acquire these coins whenever one surfaces. Auctions see feverish bidding. Collectors talk in hushed, reverent tones about the last known sales. And every time a new discovery is reported, the excitement spreads like wildfire. It's not just about the money. It's about the thrill of discovery. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle. One jar of coins, overlooked for years, turned into a treasure chest of possibilities. Every collector dreams of this moment, the sudden, unbelievable realization that what you thought was ordinary is extraordinary. And here's the part most people miss. This coin isn't flashy. It doesn't sparkle like gold or silver. It's a humble penny, almost invisible among the countless coins we carry every day. That's the magic. It's hiding in plain sight, waiting for the eyes of someone who knows what to look for. Start with the mint mark. Denver. Look for the doubling on the D. Study the date carefully. Examine every letter in Liberty and the word In God We Trust. Compare with a known standard penny from the same year. Look for tiny shadows, the faint echo of the engraving. It's painstaking work, but the reward? one of the most valuable pennies in the world, capable of selling for over $1 million. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, a silent, unassuming coin, hiding a secret that could change everything. One glance under a magnifying glass, one careful observation, and you could be holding history, wealth, and a story that will be told for generations. It's more than a coin, it's proof that extraordinary treasures can be found in the most ordinary places, and that a single discovery can transform a life forever. So if you have jars of pennies gathering dust, don't toss them aside. Look closely. Examine every detail. That 1984 Lincoln penny could be the key to unlocking $1 million dream. The next life-changing discovery could be yours, and all it takes is a moment of attention, a touch of patience, and a little luck. Yes, a simple 1980 Lincoln penny, the kind you've probably found in your own pocket change, has a secret that could change someone's life forever. Imagine holding a coin that could turn ordinary luck into unimaginable fortune. That's exactly what happened to one collector who stumbled upon this rare treasure. It all starts with a tiny detail so easy to miss, yet so powerful that it multiplies the coin's value into the millions. The 1980 penny seemed ordinary at first glance. Copper, small, familiar. But hidden in plain sight was a minting anomaly, a subtle characteristic that only the most eagle-eyed collectors would notice. Dealers call it a no mint mark variation, and while it might sound simple, the market reacts like it's a gold rush. Collectors were shocked when the first verified sale hit the auction block. The story is almost unbelievable. A man, just sifting through his pocket change on a quiet Saturday afternoon, spotted something unusual. He couldn't have known he was holding a ticket to $1 million payday. The excitement of that discovery rippled through the coin world like lightning. Everyone wanted a piece of this miracle. But what makes this penny truly exceptional isn't just its rarity, it's the story behind it. Back in 1980, the Philadelphia Mint was churning out millions of pennies, almost on autopilot. Yet a handful slipped through the system without a mint mark. These unmarked coins were mistakes, oversights, errors lost in time. And mistakes, in the world of coin collecting, are often the most valuable of all. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle, and the news spread like wildfire. Collectors across the country scrambled to check their own jars, drawers, and piggy banks. What seemed like ordinary copper pennies suddenly held the potential for life-altering wealth. Auction houses were flooded with calls, and the excitement was palpable. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on any penny from 1980 with that elusive no-mint mark, and the value skyrocketed almost overnight. But the story gets even more mysterious. Not all 1980 no-mint mark pennies are created equal. Some are clearer, more pristine, while others show faint signs of wear. The tiniest detail on the coin's face, the placement of Lincoln's portrait, the sharpness of the date, even a subtle doubling of the numbers, can push a coin from thousands to millions of dollars. This is the secret most collectors miss, the nuance that separates ordinary pennies from legendary treasures. Imagine walking into your kitchen, opening a drawer, and spotting a penny with no mint mark. Heart racing, hands shaking, could this be the one? Every inch of this coin tells a story. The way it gleams, the weight in your hand, the sharpness of Lincoln's features, it all counts. And experts say that this coin isn't just valuable for its rarity, it's a snapshot of history, a tiny piece of a forgotten moment in American minting. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. The first auction sale of a verified 1980 no-mint mark penny shattered expectations, landing at an eye-popping $1.2 million. Collectors who had been skeptical before were now believers. Suddenly, ordinary Americans realized that they, too, could hold history and wealth in the palm of their hand. Many make mistakes when trying to find this coin. Some overlook worn coins, thinking they aren't valuable. Others confuse pennies with faint mint marks for true no-mint mark varieties. One collector, for instance, almost threw away a coin because he thought the mint mark had simply worn off. But the truth is in the details, the lettering, the spacing, the tiny quirks left by the minting press decades ago. That is where the value hides. Collectors who know the signs can identify this penny almost instantly. Look at the date. Is it sharp? Is it well struck? Check the mint mark area carefully. No P, no D, nothing at all. Examine Lincoln's face for crisp lines, the ear, the cheek, the jaw. The combination of these tiny details can tell you whether your coin could be worth over $1 million. Every characteristic adds to the story, every flaw or perfection makes the coin more desirable. This penny isn't just about money, it's about possibility. It's about the thrill of discovery, and the hope that what seems ordinary might hold unimaginable fortune. Every collector dreams of that one find that changes everything, that moment when pocket change becomes a life-changing treasure. And for one lucky person, that dream has already come true with the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. The market for these pennies is hotter than ever. Dealers are scouring coin rolls, collectors are checking jars of coins from decades past, and auctions continue to drive prices higher. It's a reminder that history and luck often meet in the most unexpected places. Could a seemingly ordinary coin sitting in a drawer or under a couch cushion hold the key to $1 million payday? The answer is yes. But only if you know what to look for. Examine every penny with care, study the date, inspect the mint mark area, and trust your eye for detail.